To build a 4-foot by 8-foot raised bed, you'll need 9 4x6 by 8 rough cedar timbers. The Western red cedar is naturally resistant to rot and should last well over a decade. We do not recommend using treated lumber or treating the cedar with preservatives or paint for beds that are to be used for any food plants or crops. Everything should be found at your local hardware store. Make sure to wear the proper personal protective equipment, including eye pro, ear pro, and gloves, and make sure you know how to use the tools before starting this project. So to prep the timbers, you'll want to measure to the correct sizes and mark on all 4 sides, since you'll need to make 2 passes if using a circular saw. If a miter saw is available, it will help speed up the cutting process. After cutting the lumber to the correct sizes, you'll want to drill pilot holes. In 2 of the 8-foot timbers that will be used for the bottom course, use a 3/8" auger bit with the 6-inch side of the timber vertical and drill a hole in the middle of the timber for the rebar. Next, you'll use the 1/4" drill bit to drill 3 holes in the other 2 8-footers and the 7-foot 4-inch timbers, 1 hole in the center and 1 on either side. You'll then want to drill 2 holes in the shorter 4-foot and 3-foot 4-inch pieces. Next, you'll want to set the 8-foot and 4-foot pieces so that the 6-inch side of the timbers are horizontal and drill 1 hole on either side of the timber, about 1 inch or 2 from the end. An option for drainage is to cut weep holes into the bottom course at about 2-foot intervals. Once the timbers are cut and prepped, it's time to prep the site where the bed will be located. You'll first want to remove any turf or mulch from the site, scraping down to the underlying soil, ideally achieving a level grade. A 1 to 2 inch layer of crusher fines under the bed will facilitate leveling of the base course and will also help with drainage. If additional drainage is desired, a 3 to 4 inch deep bottom layer of 3/4 inch gravel can be used to work with the weep holes as well as the layer of crusher fines. If building multiple beds, utilizing a string line is advisable. Measure the diagonal distance at the corners and make sure they are the same length and adjust to square, if necessary. To assemble the base course, place any damaged side of each timber facing towards the center or bottom of the bed with the 6-inch side of the timbers vertical. Line up the outside and the top edges of the corners and fit together flush and snugly. Drive 1 8-inch timber screw through the pilot hole to fasten each corner. An option is to toe-nail a 3.5-inch deck screw at each corner to help secure the joints while moving and positioning the base course. Then you want to level the top of the base course by adding or removing a crusher fine layer under the timbers. You'll then want to measure off any fixed edges surrounding the raised bed to adjust location until the desired placement is achieved. Recheck the base course for level. Use a sledgehammer to drive the rebar through the pilot holes and into the underlying soil, hammering it flush with the top of the timber. Following the same steps as the bottom course, use the 7-foot 4-inch and the 4-foot timbers and overlap the corner joints to increase stability. Drive 8-inch timber screws into the pilot holes on the top side of each timber to fasten each successive course to the course underneath. The third and final course will do exactly the same thing using the last 8-foot and 3-foot 4-inch timbers. You want to loosen up the underlying soil with a pickaxe to make sure the two soil mediums are well connected. Once the bed is assembled and installed, we'll want to fill it with soil. Use wheelbarrows to fill the raised bed with soil. An 18-inch tall raised bed will take approximately 1.5 cubic yards of soil to fill. If automotive tire ramps are available, these will help facilitate dumping the soil into the raised bed. Use care to avoid damaging the top timbers of the raised bed. Once the bed is filled with soil, it's time to start planting.